Welcome back to the Tiny Ear Hanger. This is Mike. Today I will talk to you about something a little bit different. I found a video, and I think the creator is Drell. I'm going to link it down below, but she makes a lot of really good points in this video. And I want to say that she says that men are giving up dating and collecting action figures, but I don't think it's that broad of a stroke, but there's a lot to that. And she touches on her disdain for modern women. And I do believe this is mostly the younger women, and I'm going to touch on that at the end of the video, kind of what's been going on the last 10 years that have shifted all of this. But I'm going to touch on her points, and I'm going to use a little bit of her footage so you can see what she has to say, which I thought was a lot of fun when she talked about Transformers. And so I got a few notes here to discuss. But check out her full video. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't know how it showed up in my feed. I figured it'd be a fun, easy video to make, so I'm just standing talking to the camera and low edit work on this video about guys collecting toys and action figures instead of dating women. Coming up.
They're turning their attention to toys. They're collecting toys and action figures because they're taking their own money, their hard-earned money. They're putting it towards something that they truly enjoy from ages 25 to 65.
So the first point she makes is that it is okay to collect. Now there's been sort of a negative stigma about people collecting, especially in the 90s when I was starting my collecting. And I didn't really want to share with everybody that I collected, but at the same time, I wanted to share with everybody I collected so that I could say, hey, you got any of your old toys? And I did that. A lot of my friends, like, hey, you have any of your old toys from back in the day? But it seems like we did have a cultural shift over the last 30 years where it's more acceptable to be collecting action figures and toys, and to where it is now, that's pretty much all I do. I collect action figures, I make YouTube videos.
Another guy tell me that he has over 4,000 that he collects in his collection. Action figures, all types of action figures.
But some other people might feel like, some people at work might think it's odd or weird or strange, but at this point in time, pretty much everybody collects something. But she does kind of speak out as someone who is understood this whole market for having videos, uplifting kind of videos to men, and that's pretty cool too. But at the same time, it's becoming much, much more socially acceptable. On one level, I never really cared what people thought of me, though.
And here's the big one. Transformers. Remember that? Transformers. Yeah, Transformers. And a couple of guys said that they just bought the Age of the Prime Silverbolt. And what he is, he's a Concorde jet. And it just came out. So what they do is they have other aerial bots to combine with that, and they can transform it into Superion, which is a huge robot.
She did touch on Transformers. I thought it was interesting. Of course, modern Transformers, so we're hearing about modern Transformers versus like vintage and that kind of stuff. And she didn't really break all that stuff down. But I did think it was kind of interesting how she did talk about that. Star Trek. She did mention in there somewhere about Ninja Turtles, and she talks about a rapper that collects some Power Rangers. And yeah, that's all cool. That's all cool. All the stuff, whatever you want to collect, it's great, fun, enjoy it. Oddly enough, she never mentioned Pops. None of these people saying they're collecting action figures or collecting stuff and they're not dating collect Pops. I thought that was interesting.
I know the stereotype that society and these modern women, what they say. They say that you guys are living in your mother's basement, and we're just going to toss that stereotype out the window because it makes no sense. So if you want to collect things and you want to, or if you want to start doing that, by all means, do it. Go ahead and do it. At least you're not getting your heart broken by a modern Jezebel.
She touches on stereotypes. Now, the thing about stereotypes, that the names people would call people, or, I don't even think this day and age that happens anymore. What it really is, it's more in guys' heads. Like, it's in your head that if I collect an action figure, someone's gonna think I'm a nerd, a geek, a dork, or whatever, all this kind of stuff. And the reality of it is that everyone collects something. And, you know, it's not any more socially acceptable to collect shoes than it is to collect action figures, in my opinion. Like, if you're collecting $250 pairs of sneakers that you're not going to wear, what's the difference? In all reality, you're going to put your shoe on a shelf, display it. You're going to put your action figure on a shelf and display it. And there's actually more cultural relevance to a lot of these action figures than just a pair of Nikes. And I actually have about 25 pairs of Nikes. Got most of them at a garage sale from a kid, and they're almost brand new for $1.25 a piece. She touched on the age groups, 25 to 65. So one of the things is that she does touch on nostalgia. 25 to 65. So you got to be old enough of a person to have a little bit of nostalgia. It's not like someone that's 15's got nostalgia for when they were 5. I mean, that's not really the way it is. And generally when you hit 15, like I got teenagers, which they're out of collecting toys, but they don't get rid of them. They keep them, and partially because their dad's a collector, I'm sure. And with that, you know, I got room for them to keep them and store them and collect them. 65, yeah, that's another thing. It's like people talk about in retirement, well, what are you going to do when you retire with all this stuff? That's exactly what you do in retirement, because I haven't worked in 8 years, so I'm on my 8th year not working. This is all I do. I mean, what else would you do in retirement? Sit in a chair and stare at a wall? That's not something I would do in retirement. In retirement, you enjoy and embrace your hobbies to the maximum fullest extent. That's what retirement's for.
When you collect things and you find one that's really, really rare, that's a sense of achievement for you. But they don't understand that.
And then getting back to it, it's okay to collect. And it's, I mean, whether social stigma and all that, but she gets into the financial aspect. Like, you're a grown adult. You work a job and you pay for your collection. You support your habit. You are buying the stuff with the money that you earn. And with that, no one in the world can tell you what you can and cannot do with your money. Now, if you're buying it instead of paying your mortgage, or you're not making your car payments, which I do not advocate for buying a car that requires payments. But anyway, that's a financial thing. But she says that, hey, you're making this money, you decide what to do with it, and you enjoy it. And it's perfectly okay to collect. So I really do like a lot of what she says in this video, and it's really awesome. Now we're going to get to the second part of this video, modern women, and she has an absolute disdain for it.
They don't give a damn what these modern women have to say about it or what you think about it. You're so tired of trying to be, or always trying to be, top notch. The best man that you can be. You're already the best man that you can be, but they want more and more, so you're tired of that.
And I'm going to say this. It is not these females' fault, 100%. It is that they're buying into the nonsense, garbage dribble that's been put out there for the last 10 years. We've seen 10 years of social engineering to where, for whatever reason, people are trying to reduce the value of men. And I'm not going to go so deep into it, but the reality of it is that it's not men that are affected at all. So let me explain this. So a man that, like, I'm working on my car and I can't quite get my starter on. I call my buddy and he comes over and he helps me put my starter on. That's, a man knows the value of another man and the help from a man. But women are being, their minds are being distorted. So 10 years ago, 15 to 20-year-olds, females that are growing up now that are 25 to 31-year-old influencers on TikTok and all of this have a distorted view of reality. So they live in this world, and she explains it a bit, but they live in this world where they've had social engineering almost their whole life telling them that they don't really need a man, and if they want a man, he needs to be perfect. Well, let me explain to you what these females on TikTok, since I'm not on TikTok, I don't watch it much, I just watch these compilation videos. Here's what they're saying that they need out of a man. And this is why a lot of these people that she's been talking about are running men off from dating them. They need the rule of 6. Anytime you have 666, you know it's bad. 6-pack abs, 6'2". They need to be 6'2" with a 6-pack abs 24/7 all year round and $600,000 a year. So I'm going to tell you, they have narrowed the playing field from 150 million people in the U.S. down to maybe 1,000 at most. And we're talking less than 1%. The 1%, when you look at that, you usually talk about billionaires. Even the billionaires don't fall into this category. So these females have narrowed their playing field to where they don't even accept Jeff Bezos. Won't fit in there because he's bald. Zuckerberg and all them probably don't have the 6-pack abs and probably don't meet their aesthetic. So the funny thing is, you get all these mid women on TikTok, and mid is what they're saying. The kids these days are saying is like average. Well, average is 6. That's another rule of 6, right? 6, 6, 6, 6. You're a 6 on the finger scale, and you think you need a dude that's a 10. Well, guess what? These dudes that are 10, I know some of them. They are not good people. You'll be a notch on their belt, and they'll be ashamed of you as a notch on your belt. So these women that are saying they'll only accept that, and they're mid women at best, are going to basically be a notch on some guy's belt. And a lot of these women are going to grow up. And here's the sad part. They're going to probably be one of those childless cat ladies growing up. And they'll get older. They'll be found in their apartment dead by the landlord, and the cats be eating on them. And so the reason for this is the social engineering. They have had their mind destroyed. We need more people like this lady that is making videos to fix women's mindsets. Because men already know the value of men, but they're being told that men aren't valuable. And men are having more fun and enjoying collecting than dealing with this mess and this nonsense. Now, I've been married for 30 years. So my perception of all this might be a little bit different. Different than my kids a little bit. But at the same time, I see what they deal with. And there are logical, level-headed women out there. And there really are. There's a lot of logical, level-headed women that saw all this absurd nonsense and just ignored it. And look at the world for the way it is. And so with that, hopefully women like this get a female following also, and that females can kind of like get away from the toxic 666 type of female creators. But if you collect, I mean, there's nothing. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my collection, and I'm very happy about it. It brings me a lot of joy. But at the same time, I spend time with my family over a lot of the collecting things. Sometimes I skip making a video so that I can spend time with my family. So there's a whole lot of give and take and balance in a life. But what are your priorities? You got to think about those priorities. At the same time, I love collecting, but hey, I haven't done anything in my collection for a couple of days because I've been doing a lot of things with the family and those things there. But anyhow, I hope you guys found a little bit of value in this video. If so, like and subscribe. If you disagree with me entirely, that's fine. That's what freedom in America is all about. Being able to disagree with me. That's called freedom. And with that, like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments below. Go over and watch her video. Come back over here and tell me that you liked her video. You liked what she had to say. And like, subscribe. Tell your hanger out.
Also, Star Trek The Next Generation. There's a lot of Trekkies out there. For all of you Trekkies, I know you're collecting your Star Trek memorabilia, your Star Trek toys, your Star Trek action figures. That's what you're doing. And I grew up watching that, Star Trek The Next Generation. That was really good.